तो जयं वीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. I'd like to welcome everyone for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. I'll share my screen. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 15th chapter, verse number 8 and verse number 9. So we'll the first verse, it's like a pause, and we'll read this, and then we'll go to the next verse. The eighth verse, fifth canto, 15th chapter, eighth verse. The chapter title is Descendants of Maharaj Priyavrat. So eighth verse. Tasye mam katam pandaveya puravida upaghayanti. So this the translation purport by Sevaya from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, my dear King Parikshit, those who are learned scholars in the histories of the Puranas eulogize and glorify King Gaya with the following verses. Purport. The historical references to the exalted kings serve as a good example for present rulers. Those who are ruling the world at the present moment should take lessons from King Gaya, King Yudhishthira, and King Prithu, and rule the citizens so that they will be happy. Presently, the governments are levying taxes without improving the citizens in any cultural, religious, social, or political way. According to the Vedas, this is not recommended. Next verse. So text 9. We'll recite this verse 3 times. This. Gayam nrapah kah pratiyati karmabhir yajvabhimani bahuvid dharmagopta samagata shri sadasaspati satham satsevakonyo bhagavat kalamrate gayam nrapah kah pratiyati karmabhir yajvabhimani bahuvid dharmagopta समागत श्री सदसपति सताम सत्सेवकोन्यो भगवत कलामृते गयम नृपः कः प्रतियाति कर्मभिर् यज्वाभिमानी बहुविध धर्मगुप्ता समागत श्री सदसपति सताम सत्सेवकोन्यो भगवत कलामृते. Ninth verse. We'll read word to word meaning. गयम
क्या करते हैं वॉकिंग को है
नहीं वॉकिंग वर्ड्स नंबर के बाद जाते हैं क्या करते हैं
क्या कर
you can go mute. Pratyati is a match for karma bihi by his execution of ritualistic ceremonies. Yajva, who performed all sacrifices. Abhimani, so widely respected all over the world. Bahuvid, fully aware of the conclusion of Vedic literature. Dharma Gopta, protector of the occupational duties of everyone. Samagatashri, possessing all kinds of opulence. Sadasah Pati Satham, the dean of the assembly of great persons. Sat Sevakaha, servant of the devotees. Anyaha, anyone else. Bhagavat Kalam, the plenary incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rute, besides. Translation by Shivangas A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The great King Gaya used to perform all kinds of Vedic rituals. He was highly intelligent and expert in studying all the Vedic literatures. He maintained the religious principles and possessed all kinds of opulence. He was a leader among gentlemen and a servant of the devotees. He was a totally qualified plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, who could equal him in the performance of gigantic ritualistic ceremonies? Let's say the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namavam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarvrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So once again I would like to welcome everyone for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto 15th chapter 8 and 9 verses. So before starting I would like to take blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Please you can pray for me and bless me so that I'll be able to speak whatever I could hear and whatever I could make notes in Indian Parampara. And also, please do correct me if I do any mistakes. So, with that, I would like to start discussing about what we have read today. And it's for my own purification and the glorification of Lord. I'm discussing this. So, today's verses from 5th canto, 15th chapter, 8 and 9 verses. Before I'll we'll just see the context. So there are total 10 topics in Srimad Bhagavatam, as we know. In second canto, already explained by Sutta Goswami that there are total 10 topics. Atra sargo visargascha sthanam poshnam udayaha manvantari sharanukata nirodho muktir ashrayaha. So there is primary creation and then secondary creation happens. The primary creation about Mahavishnu and then Garbhaksha Vishnu and then Sirojaksha Vishnu. And then further we know secondary creation starts from Brahma. So where Lord Brahma starts the creation, that's Visarga. So in the 5th canto, now we are discussing the lineage of Brahma, where Swayambhu's lineage is discussed here. So that comes in the part of Visarga. And also, but this canto is especially, 5th canto is talking more about Sthanam. That is the positioning of all the living entities in various planetary systems. So it comes from 16th chapter. Now we are in 15th chapter. Till 15th chapter, the dynasty of Swayambhu's son, Pravat Maharaj is explained. And further starts the structure of the material universe and then positioning of living entities. All the description is there further. So that's Takta Sthanam. And then furthermore, Poshanam, Uti, Manvantara, topics of Lord, annihilation, liberation, and then Ashraya, supreme shelter of Lord Krishna. It goes further. So now we are focusing on these two topics in this chapter. That is Visarga currently, and next comes Sthanam. So 5th canto is talking more about, especially meant for talking more on the Sthanam, positioning of living entities. And also is compared to the Lord Krishna's body. Pado yadiyo pratamadvitiyo tritiyaturyo kadito yaduro nabhistata panchameva shasto bhujantaram do yugalam tatanyo kantasturajan navam yadiyo mukharavindam dasamah prafullam ekadaso yasya lalattapattam siropitu dvadaseva bhati. So it is described Lord Krishna's body compared to cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. So first two compared to lotus feet, third and fourth compared to thighs, fifth compared to navel. So we are discussing 5th canto is compared to navel of the Lord's body, and 6th is compared to Lord's chest, 7th and 8th arms, 9th compared to throat, and then 10th compared to lotus face, and 11th compared to the forehead, and 12th compared to the head of the Lord. So 5th canto is compared to the navel. You can see here the picture of hellish planets are shown here. So that comes in the 5th canto at the end. All the hellish planets description is there. So this is how it's compared. And coming to the lineage of what we discussed. So we all know Brahma's son is Swayambhu Manu, and Swayambhu Manu's, he has 3 daughters, Devahuti, Akuti, and Prasuti, and 2 sons, Uttanapad and Privrat. So Devahuti, Akuti, and Prasuti, the description is given in the 3rd cantos and 4th cantos, along with Uttanapad also. His lineage of Dhruva Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, Prachina Barshit, and Prachetas. And then 5th canto, description about Privrat Maharaj. So we all know how Privrat Maharaj became the king. So Uttanapad, how he became the king? Because Uttanapad dynasty till Prachetas it went, and Prachetas' son is Daksha, and Daksha went for performing austerities. So no one is there to rule now. So Swayambhu Manu, he went to meet Privrat Maharaj, who was actually leading Brahmacharya life. He requested him to rule the kingdom. So we all know the pastime of that. Then the Priyat Maharaj, and the instruction of Brahma and Swayambhu Manu and his Guru Narada Muni, he taken up the responsibility of ruling the kingdom. So Priyat Maharaj ruled, and his dynasty, he was ideal king, and his dynasty, there were great kings, and the dynasty of Priyat Maharaj described in the 5th canto from 1st to 15 chapters. So like example of great kings, like we'll see like here in this, like for describe first chapter, describe the glories of Priyat Maharaj. Second, about the glories of Agnidra, his first son, and his first son Nabi, and then his son Rishabhadev, and Rishabhadev's first son, 100 sons, and the first son is Bharat Maharaj. And Bharat Maharaj's pastime is elaborated in the 5th canto from 7th chapter till 14 chapters. So very elaborate description is there. And Bharat Maharaj's lineage comes now. So, and Bharat Maharaj's lineage, in the lineage, many sons. Under the his lineage comes King Gaya, who we just now discussed in this 2 verses, 8th and 9th. And then further description of private dynasties, how it was there in Jambudvipa, and then the structure of the universe, and then the hellish planets. This describes the sthanam, the positioning of living entities, and the structure of the universe here. So, and then for today, while as we see in the 8th and 9th verse, so we can see how Priyat Maharaj coming from the lineage of Bharat Maharaj, and Bharat Maharaj in this lineage, king called Nakta and his wife is Druti. They gave birth to a son Gaya. So Gaya is very famous and a saintly king, and Gaya is called Mahapurush, as we seen in the previous verse. So 7th verse, and it is how he is called as Mahapurush because he is a great devotee of Lord Vishnu and is also partial incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So that's why it is the title Mahapurush. And especially in the today's verse 8th and 9th. So if we see the 8th verse, it was mentioned Tasye Mam Gatam Pandaveya. So Puravida Upagayanti. So it's mentioned there. I'll share again. It's mentioned there how about King Gaya Gatam, there were poetic versus glorification, and Sukadeva Goswami is telling to Pandaveya, to Parshit Maharaj, Puravida Upagayanti. So Puravida Upagayanti means who are learned in the historical events of Puranas. They're actually singing the glories of the great king. So that is King Gaya. And the translation, Prabhupada explains that how the glories of King Gaya have been sung by the people who are very learned in scriptures as a history in Puranas, how we sing the glories of great kings. They are glorifying the Upagayanti, the glories of King Gaya. So in the purport, Prabhupada explains about the great rulers, like he explains how the rulers like Prithu Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, so they are ruled very nicely, and all the current rulers, they should learn from them. Prabhupada tells this purport, and should actually elevate the citizens in their cultural, religious, and social political way. So that was recommended in Vedas. If they don't do it, then it is wrong. So I mean, they have to elevate the citizens, not to degrade them. So without improving that, just collecting taxes will not help the citizens. So with this context, I just will discuss a few points. The especially Prabhupada mentioned about idol kings. So their how they rule, like Yudhishthira Maharaj mentioned and Prithu Maharaj mentioned there. And from other from the Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see there are many other kings who actually ideally rule the kingdom, and they have shown us how to rule it, like Dhru Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, and you also see Lord Ram. We can say Ram Raj how it was, and by seeing their characteristics, how they ruled, I just coined the acronym for king. I just was contemplating how they ruled idol kings. So from the acronym king, what I was thought is K. So K is first letter K. So K starts. They rule the kingdom where Krishna is in center, and their all their household life and their responsibilities are making Krishna in center, and they have performed all their activities. So we can take example of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Prabhupada mentioned Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj, we know how he was very virtuous king, and he ruled the kingdom very nicely. And we all know how Bhishma, Krishna, everyone wants Yudhishthira to be the king. So we all know how they want it, because Yudhishthira Maharaj is always thinking about others. So he is always taking care of his citizens. So that's why they want Yudhishthira Maharaj to be the king. And how Yudhishthira Maharaj ruled, how we all know how he performed the Rajasuya sacrifice, and invited everyone in that, and he have seen in the topmost Agra Tambula of the sacrifice was given to Lord Krishna. So that was the main intention. The whole point of performing the Rajasuya sacrifice by this Maharaj is to glorify Supreme Personal Godhead Krishna. So that was the main point he did. So going everywhere, sending all these brothers to conquer, get everything, perform the sacrifice. The main purpose of that is to glorify Lord. So that was his main intention. And yeah, so that's how he could do it. And that's the Krishna in center. And and next I, intelligent in Vedic literatures and engage all praja in the service of the Lord. So we can see how he was very contemplating on the importance of Vedic literatures, the essence of scriptures, and he was engaging all citizens in the service of the Lord. So and also instructing them. So intelligent in scriptures and engaging the praja in the service of the Lord, and also instruct them. So instruct them in the scriptures what is mentioned, and make them follow also the instructions. And then how is also n. So io, now we have n. So n is non-envious. So he was non-envious, no partiality even for the animals in the I mean he is no partiality for anyone, that he was taking care of everyone equally like a father. So he's like a father taking care of all the citizens, Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then G is king. So G is for grateful. So how he was actually grateful to the Lord. So whatever Lord is given. So Lord protected in all the ways Pandavas we have seen throughout their life. There are so many problems we have seen. Um, they are trying to kill by poison. Actually, they are trying to Kauravas. They are trying to kill them in the Lakh House, and they don't want to give the kingdom or villages, and they try to usurp everything from Pandavas. And he was very grateful to Lord in every way. The Lord protected them, and he was following the instructions of all his gurus, whatever they are given to them. So he was grateful to Lord and his gurus' instructions. So this Maharaj was following all his senior instructions from Bhishma, Dronacharya, and all his gurus. So he was very grateful to them, and he was actually following the instructions very nicely. And that's how they ruled. So very nicely the kingdom, and they are very saintly. So not that they just rule the kingdom and they do household life, no, but they're very saintly in the way they understand that they are not anxious to rule for a long time the kingdom, that they want to rule, they want to conquer the kingdoms. No, but they are very saintly also. How they are very saintly? They know the importance of the human form of life and what they're supposed to do at the end of the life, taking one of us ashram and more focusing on the Krishna consciousness. So they're ruling the kingdom also such a way, taking instructions from Brahmanas and ruling saintly. At the same time, at the end of the life, they are focusing and they are also more into Krishna consciousness. So ready, if someone is suitable for ruling the kingdom, they hand over the kingdom and they go to the forest for practicing deeply. So, and that's how S stands for saintly, and also sacrifices. So we all know how they have conducted many sacrifices. So Rajasuya sacrifice, as I mentioned just now. So this Maharaj conducted sacrifices for the pleasure of all the pleasure of the Lord, and also for the welfare of all citizens, for everything to flourish. So materially to flourish, so that they can practice the spirituality peacefully and they progress in their spiritual life. So like that. So K stands for Krishna in center, and I stands for intelligent scriptures and instruct them, and N stands for non-envious and also is not anxious to rule, and G stands for grateful to the Lord and also is following his instructions of his guru, and S stands for saintly, and also he was performing sacrifices. Like that, we can see all the kings. I give example of Yudhishthira Maharaj, how we have seen was ruling. So and we know that Parikshit Maharaj comes in this lineage. The verse 8th verse talks about Pandaveya. So he's identifying as Pandavas. So Parikshit Maharaj is in the lineage of Arjuna's grandson. So he was getting instruction from Sukadeva Goswami. And when the time comes, Yudhishthira Maharaj understood that Krishna left the planet. He also wants to take leave and also focusing on the path of bhakti more. So he left the kingdom. I made Parikshit Maharaj, who is eligible to rule, and he left it. And all of his brothers also followed him. So that's why this Maharaj set an example, ruling and also how to intensify the Krishna consciousness. Like that, we can see even Prithu Maharaj, section, we can see the same thing. So all the 5 points we discussed now. So Prithu Maharaj also is born from churning Vena along with Archie. So Prithu Maharaj ruled the kingdom. Prithu Maharaj was glorified before only, whatever he did, all the activities. But he told, stop, let me at least do what you are glorifying now. And Prithu Maharaj saw that how citizens were suffering. Everything was taken up Mother Earth was not providing them. It was kept inside. So he was actually attacking Mother Earth and asking why you are not able to provide everything for citizens. And we know how Prithu Maharaj milked Mother Earth, and he given all the things required for the citizens, made them very happy. And we know the famous pastime of how he was performing the sacrifices. So Ashwamedh sacrifice, and in sacrifice, how he was actually performing sacrifice 99, and he was now doing the 100th one. And we know how Indra was trying to obstruct that in many ways. So he came in many ways to stop that, stealing the horse. So coming in different ways to stop the sacrifice. But yeah, he was not attached to the sacrifice. Who Prithu Maharaj, although Indra was envious of uh, stopping the sacrifice, because if he performs under sacrifice, then there will be a problem for his post. So, but Prithu Maharaj, by the instruction of his seniors, instruction of Lord, instruction of Brahma, so he could able to stop the sacrifice. So, and he was ready to stop at 99th sacrifice and follow the instructions of his seniors. And I was very grateful to them what he did, and Lord was pleased what Prithu did, and Lord blessed Prithu Maharaj. So like that, and Prithu Maharaj was very intelligent Vedic literatures. Was hearing from Chatush Kumaras, right? Chatush Kumaras came to his assembly, and he showed an exemplary way of how to receive the guests, and he welcomed them. He washed their lotus feet. He sprinkled water on his head, and he showed all his citizens how to take care of seniors, acharyas, and how to respect them and hear from them attentively. He sat and he asked questions and hear from them very attentively. Prithu Maharaj was also showing example. And he was very saintly, we know how, and he was uh, executing his duties according to instructions of scriptures, and he was instructing citizens also. After the sacrifice of 19th, and he came back to his place, there again he started performing one more sacrifice. In that assembly, he was addressing all the citizens about importance of practicing bhakti, and he was giving citizens the importance of spiritual life. So we can see how Prithu Maharaj also taking the factor of instructing citizens. And yeah, so yeah, we all know further pastime of Prithu Maharaj, how he also make his further sons rule, and he also focused on his Krishna conscious, more deepen into the Krishna conscious life. So like that, he has also led his life such a way that is an example how we should follow it. So like these two examples Prabhupada gave in purport, I just picked these two, and like Dishta Maharaj and Prithu Maharaj, what we discussed in earlier cantos. And then I was also referring the Dhruv Maharaj's one of the verse, Dhruv Maharaj, how ideal ruler he is. So that is a 4.12.12. So it is explained there. We'll see that verse. We can see. Yeah, is the verse. So in this verse you can see, तमेवं शीलसम्पन्नं ब्रह्मण्यं दीनवत्सलं कोप्तारं धर्मसेतूनां मेनिरे पितरं प्रजः. So tam evam sila sampannam. The how sila sampanna means is mentioned as godly qualities. So he's endowed with all godly qualities. Brahmanyam, giving respect to all the brahmanas. So Dina Vatsalam is always protecting the poor. Goptaram, protector of Dharma Setunam, of the religious principles. Menire thought. So Pritaram Prajaha, he is like father to all the citizens. That's how Dhruv Maharaj was ruling the kingdom. So he was actually having all good qualities, giving all respect to Brahmanas. He is protecting all the people who are needy, and he is protecting the religious principles, and also he is like father of all the people, so citizens of his kingdom. So like father is taking care of everyone. So in this purport, Prabhupada mentions very nice points. I'll just refer this so we can see here. The one word is very significant in this connection, that is Brahmanyam. Dhruv Maharaj is very devoted to the Brahmanas who engage in study of Vedas, thereby know the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they are always busy propagating Krishna consciousness. That's this from here you can see it. Prabhupada tells very nice points. That states should be very respectful to societies that distribute God conscious all over the world. But unfortunately, at the present moment, there is no state or government support given to such movements. As for good qualities, it is very difficult to find anyone in state administration with any good qualities. The administrators simply sit in their administrative posts and say no to every request, as if they were paid to say no to citizens. Another word, Dina Vatsalam. So yeah, it is very significant also. The state head should be very kind to the innocent. Unfortunately, in this age, the state agents and the presidents draw good salaries from the state, and they pose themselves as very pious. But they allow the running of slaughterhouses where innocent animals are killed. If you try to compare the godly qualities of Dhruv Maharaj to the qualities of modern statesmen, we can see that there is no actual comparison. Dhruv Maharaj was present in the Satyuga, as will be clear from the next verses. He was ideal king in the Satyuga. The government administration in the present age, Kali Yuga, is bereft of all godly qualities. Considering all these points, the people today have no alternative but to take to Krishna consciousness for protection of religion, life, and property. Prabhupada actually summarized the what we discussed in the purport. What Prabhupada told, this purport actually exactly matches the eighth one what we discussed. So Prabhupada is comparing the current modern state and also the way Dhruv Maharaj ruled. So it was mentioned that how they should be and how they should not be in this verse. So it is mentioned how the state government, uh, the people who are sitting, they should be actually say it should be very kind and innocent to citizens, which they are not. So and also it was mentioned that I mean, in the sense of helping citizens, uh, they should live their life happily, peacefully, and also gradually elevate them, as mentioned in the eighth verse also, that they should be religiously, they should be socially, they should be every way, they should be gradually elevate them in their spiritual life is what very important. And then they should also help these moments. So Brahmanas, they know the Vedas, and they should actually respect them, and they should also make them progress in the spiritual life. Now we have seen how in the current government, Modi is also giving many great awards to citizens who are really helping people to elevate socially, religiously. So, and one of our devotee also got, so Prabhuji got the Padma Award. You know that how they are now, they are actually like rulers, like people, they are really government, they are now appreciating. So, but yeah, that's how the government should rule. They appreciate the people who are actually spreading the Krishna consciousness or the literature all over the world. So that we can see. And the government should not encourage the slaughterhouses, which are actually innocent animals getting killed. So that is a very sinful activity where uh, government is encouraging and making people sinful. So where they are not able to address progress in their spiritual life, that we can see. So like that, Prabhupada has stressed on very important points in this purport. And furthermore, we can see in Ambarish Maharaj section, like the same points uh, more in detail. It comes in ninth canto. Let that verse, yeah, ninth canto, fourth chapter, 24th verse. This verse is very nice, where furthermore how Ambarish Maharaj was taking care. Now we have seen Dhruv Maharaj, we have seen Rishtar Maharaj, and we have seen Prithu Maharaj, and we have seen Dhruv Maharaj how he ruled, how Prabhupada also comparing the government, present government, and also that. Now we are seeing Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj, this verse comes, स्वर्गो न प्रार्थितो यस्य मनुजेर अमर प्रियः शृण्वाद्भिर उपगायाद्भिर उत्तम श्लोक चिष्टितम्. So it's mentioned here, the Maharaj, the citizens of Maharaj Ambarish, they were accustomed to chanting and hearing about the glorious activities of personality of Godhead. Thus they never aspired to be elevated to heavenly planets, which are extremely dear even to the demigods. So you can see Prabhupada quotes this verse here. So Narayana Parasarve Nakudashna Vibhyati Sargapavarka Narkeshu Apitulyarti Darshinaha. They are solely engaged in devotional service of Supreme Personality Godhead. Narayana never fear any condition of life. So the heavenly planets and liberation and the hellish planets are all same to the devotee. So the last point was very nice here. Why I took this purport is, it's mentioned here that because Ambarish Maharaj was a most exalted devotee of the Lord, he trained his subjects in such a way that citizens in the state were not interested in anything material, including even the happiness of the heavenly planets. That's how they train them. So because they are exalted practicing devotional service, so they trained the citizens very nicely, that they were not interested in anything, even the heavenly planet, the liberation, which were even demigods want it. So you can see Amara Priyaha. The demigods want, the Amara Priya means the demigods want the heavenly planets, liberation, everything they want to enjoy. But how Uttama Sloka? So Amrish was training them to hear about the glories of Lord, chant the glories of Lord. That's the ultimate what he is training them. So and wherever they are, any place, engaging Lord service, chanting glories of the Lord is ultimate. So Ambarish Maharaj was such an exalted devotee. He was training citizens in such a way that they do this chanting and hearing the glories of Lord is what he's trained them, because he was exalted devotee. So that's how they rule the kingdom. So making the life of all the citizens perfect. So these are the four that we have seen. The understanding of how the kings I mentioned, the Krishna in center, K and I stands for intelligent in Vedic literature and instruct the citizens, how they instruct the citizens. And then N stands for non-envious, and G stands for how they are grateful to the Lord, and S stands for they're saintly, and they are also doing sacrifices for help of citizens. And further, he was also uh, contemplating on how King Gaya also like this, right? Gaya was mentioned in this verse. He was taking care of uh, all these points. If you remember the ninth verse, what we discussed. So in the ninth verse, King Gaya was also doing the same, performing all the Vedic rituals. He was doing all the religious sacrifices. He was actually a very nice gentleman, servant of the devotees. So, and he's a plenary expansion of the Lord. So, and he's expert in all the Vedic literatures. So that was mentioned in the ninth verse. This is how we discuss now. So, and also we discuss the points of how other kings. We discussed how they also have been ruled. And we came to the point of where Ambrish Maharaj is talking about the important sacrifice. What we discussed, the sacrifice, S stands for sacrifice. I mentioned about chanting the glories of Lord. So we know in Kali Yuga the Yugadharma is chanting the holy names of Lord. I was just connecting the verse from 11th canto, 5th chapter, 32 verse. Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam Sangopangastrapashadam Yagne Sankirtana Prayer Ejantihi Sumedasha. So there we can see how in the age of Kali, how Lord comes in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Is Krishna himself, but in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and with all his associates. So, and his complexion is not blackish. His complexion is not blackish. He's in the golden complexion, and with his all associates, Sango Pangastra Parshadam, he comes for Yagna Sankirtana. So he comes for Sankirtana Yagna. So, and people who are Sumedasha, who are very intelligent, they takes up the process of this Kali Yuga, Kali Yuga's Sankirtana Yagna. So that's how glories of Sankirtana Yagna is mentioned in the 11th canto. And this is also mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, 3rd chapter, 52nd verse. It's mentioned there. So in this purport, actually there is one point which talks about how I will read this, how Jiva Goswami cites a verse from Vedic literature that says that there is no necessity of performing sacrificial demonstrations or ceremonial functions. So he comments that instead of assemble together and chant Hare Krishna to worship the Lord Chaitanya, so instead of engaging in such external pompous exhibitions, all people, regardless of caste, color, or creed, can assemble together and chant Hare Krishna to worship Lord Chaitanya. I'll repeat again. This line very nice. So Jiva Goswami cites a verse from Vedic literature that says that there is no necessity of performing sacrificial demonstrations or ceremonial functions. So he comments that instead of engaging in such external pompous exhibitions, all people, regardless of caste, color, or creed, can assemble together and chant Hare Krishna to worship Lord Chaitanya. So why I'm stressing this point, as I mentioned many things about the sacrifice and other things. In Kali Yuga, the main sacrifice is, we know that the Sankirtan Yagna. So we may not able to perform elaborately that sacrifices. So because of so many reasons, we know. So the main sacrifice is chanting the holy name of Lord, and there is no barrier for it, regardless of caste, color, creed. Anyone can assemble together and chant Hare Krishna to worship Lord Chaitanya. That's the main point I want to say. And Jiva Goswami is stressing this point. Prabhupada writes that in the purport. So yeah. And then further, Lord Chaitanya himself, we know how he has come with all associates to do this. And one pastime I like to narrate. I was also discussing in our devotee care system this about the glories of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtana movement, and we are sharing one pastime. I was sharing the pastime of Chand Kazi. So we know the pastime of Chand Kazi where Lord Chaitanya was performing the Sankirtana only in the house of Shiva Sangan that time, and uh, during the Nagasa, devotees are chanting actually outside in the streets of Navadip, and that time the Chand Kazi was passing through and he heard the Kirtan, and he know how he was actually very much disturbed how they are very dare to perform all this outside, and he was trying to stop them, and he also broken mridanga also. He broke the mridanga there, and Chandkaji was so much torturing the regions. They were very much horrified, and they went to Nimai Pandit. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Nimai Pandit, and he was asking for the help. So Nimai Pandit told them, let's all take the torches and we all go and do a procession towards Chandakazi's home by chanting the holy names of Lord. And in that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned that everyone should carry a torch and they should chant the holy names of Lord. So all the children, parents, everyone, they are actually taking the torch. They are making the torch and with the cloth dipped in the oil, and they lighten it. And the evening, when the sun set, everyone is ready. So and they are marching towards the procession, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is leading them, and Chaitanya was leading them, and he made Advaita Acharya, Haridas Thakur to chant and dance. So the Sankirtan Yajna, what they're performing in Shiva Sangan, now they're actually came, and they are actually everyone was blessed to see that. It was so nice, the procession of chanting and dancing. Even the demigods, they want to see, and they want to see, and they are, when they saw the Sankirtana procession, loud chanting of Hare Krishna mantra and dancing, they fell unconscious, and they fell down. And many of them, they taken the form of human and they joined. So like that, it said that millions and millions of people joined so to perform this. And in the Chaitanya Bhagavata, it is mentioned that whoever don't believe in this number, like millions and millions of people, they will be doomed in spiritual life, because it was millions and millions of people. Even the demigods, they joined this Sankirtana movement, and they going to towards the Kazi's home, and devotees, they are so much into the mood of chastising King Kazi. They are all saying, "Let's kill King Kazi." So Kazi and all his associates, they are afraid. So what they will do? So, and Kazi said, "What's just find out what's happening. Why so much shouting is happening? Is there any wedding ceremony?" So then all these people, they went and found that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the associates, all the citizens, they are all coming towards him, chanting the glories of Lord, holy names of Lord. So they are shouting. So then actually he went and he hidden somewhere in his room, and he told, make them stop. So I'm and he went away. So all these people who went there, they by hearing the holy names of Lord, they also joined. Some they joined, and some they want to who want to attack. They're all beards and mustaches got burnt, and they were also joined. So they were also chanting, and they were joined the army, and many are afraid. So and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knocked the door of Kazi, and no one was there. All are hidden, and finally he went inside. Some of the people opened the door, and inside, and he asked, "Where is Kazi?" So I am a guest coming to his home, but Kazi is not there to receive me. Where he went? So this is the way to receive the guest. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually shouting, and then he also tells that we didn't come to kill Kazi actually. So we can tell him to come. It's not a problem. So then Kazi comes, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks him, "This is the way you receive the guests?" So then Kazi was quiet, and he was also telling that he wants to talk to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he also tells that to make the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calm down. He tells that, don't be angry, don't be angry. Actually, your father and me are we're friends. So we are like, I am like uncle to you. I'm like a mama. So he tells that, and he consoles Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And further, how he wants to talk to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I want to tell something in person, in secret. Can you come aside? So that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, nothing is personal. So everyone who are there are my personal associates, and we do everything and here. There is no problem. So then he start telling about how he got the dream where night after that incident he broke the mridangam. So he got the dream where Lord Narsimhadev actually comes in his dream. So where in this dream, he was telling that he was not aware of Narsimhadev, right? So he was telling that the ferocious personality who came, and he actually sat on my chest, and I was telling, how dare that you stop the Sankirtan Yajna, and actually, if you do next time, actually I'm going to kill you. So he has his nails kept on his chest. So there was a mark on his chest also. So he shows that mark. So how he was horrified. So like that, see now how Narsimhadev protects devotees, and Lord promises that that his devotees never perishes. So Chand Kazi was telling this pastime to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and everyone could hear it. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts asking that you people say that you are actually uh, you are the ruler of kingdom. So Chand Kazi was ruling there, but they take the cow milk and they kill the cow. So he's saying it's very sinful activity. Then he tells how there are two people, two groups of people, how they follow the Quran. One group people, they want to grow in spiritual life. They actually will not kill the cow, and there is other group of people, they want to materially prosper. So those people, they kill the cow and they eat. And he was telling that, and he was talking to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He tells that you people also do many sacrifices as mentioned in the Vedas, that you Gomeda Yagna, Ashwamedha Yagna, you do it. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains him that so those yagnas or sacrifices what they're performing, those if the Brahmanas should chant mantra, utter the mantra purely, the very old cow was taken to the sacrifice will get the human form of body immediately in the next life. So where they can advance in spiritual life. But if it is not done properly, that will become the sin. That will become very dangerous. So position. So he does that. That's why Kali Yuga, those sacrifices are not allowed to do it. That he mentions very nicely. Then he understands, yes, and he was agrees to that. And how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through that he touched him and he also asks him to do two things. So one thing, he should actually allow everyone to chant. I think, yeah, I remember this one point where he was telling that he should not stop this Sankirtan Yajna in Navadip, and he also promised that I will allow all my descendants who are there, they should never stop this Sankirtan Yajna, and that's how we can see Navadip, it's still continuing, and all over the world with the message of Prabhupada also it is continuing. So that's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a leader, he has heard from citizens what they are facing problem from Kazi, and he is a leader. He knows the way, he goes the way, and he shows the way also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu led the Sankirtana movement and spoken to Kazi, and he given the mercy. So we all know, like, to just conclude the past time, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given the mercy to Kazi. So Kazi in his previous life was Kamsa. So Kamsa was very envious personality. So you know how we all know the past time of in 10th canto how we discuss. So there Krishna killed Kamsa by punching him, but here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. He actually killed all the anarthas in the heart of Kazi and he gave him the bhakti. So that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is most munificent, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishna Krishna Chaitanya, Namine Gauratasya Namaha. So he is actually most munificent personality, is giving Krishna Prema to everyone. So we can understand, and also we're very fortunate because of Srila Prabhupada. So the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement is there. So all the demigods in the different heavenly planets, they want to participate, and we got an opportunity of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and devotees, and we should take it more seriously and sincerely, and intensely practice this chanting of holy names: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Prabhupada's mercy, and Prabhupada as a Acharya leader, you can see how he spread this Yuga Dharma all over the world, taking the mission of Srila Prabhupada by the instruction of his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So, and transform the lives of many people from hippies to happies. So, and one more important point is the mood of chanting. So, how should be mood of chanting? As Prabhupada mentioned in many of his lectures, that mood of chanting should be in Trinadapi Sunichena, Tararopi Sahishtuna, Amanena Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. We should be in the mood of humble state of mind, like a blade of grass, and we should always be tolerant in all the conditions of life, and we should always give respect to others and never expect respect in return. Only in this state of mind we can chant the holy names of Lord constantly. So Kirtaniya Sadahari. So that's how we should chant. And yeah, and the some more like one more point mentioned in this 9th verse about King Gaya, like how is a servant of devotees. So that is like Sat Sevako. So like that. So most of the points we covered, like how he was protecting, and then like one point Sat Sevako is like servant leadership. I was hearing this Sadhasham Prabhu is explaining how the servant leader. What is the servant leader? So he's telling example of Arjuna on the battlefield. So if Krishna want to fight the battle Kurukshetra, with one chakra would able to you can complete the battle. So then whole Kurukshetra can be maybe complete in one day. So it's not even one day. So it's very less time. So but Krishna always wants to glorify his devotees. Krishna always want to appreciate the devotees to do the glorious activities. So that's how the leader should be always. Not that he wants the people to applaud for him. He was always ready to make his all the under him who are all there. He wants to make them empower and make them lead and success. And seeing their success, they will be happy. So Krishna is like that. We can see all the pastimes of Lord Ram everywhere. So whenever Vibhishana, Lord Ram gave him the kingdom of Lord Ram gave the kingdom of Lanka to Vibhishan. So he don't want to rule it. Even the same thing with Kishkinda. So Sugriva ruled it. So everywhere we see, although Krishna also appreciating Arjuna for everything. So and he made Ugrasena as the king. So like that. So that is a servant leadership. So and Prabhupada example, Prabhupada also like Prabhupada he empowers all his disciples. So one incident where I was hearing that once Prabhupada was sitting and he called all the leaders, so who are all there, and all they sat so in the chairs, and Prabhupada started asking Brahmanand Prabhu, okay, start speaking. He was asking what to speak. He told, today's Janmashtami, you should speak something about Krishna. So then immediately all the devotees who came there, they started preparing internally. So they're thinking what to speak. Like that, Prabhupada wants to empower them. Prabhupada wants to train his devotees, instruct them. So, and he was very happy. And Prabhupada always sit in his disciples' class and to hear from them. So he wants to empower them, instruct them, train them to further progress. So he was like a servant leader who does this, and he was ready to upload his disciples. He always tells that how his disciples helped him in this moment. So he was appreciating them like anything. So that's how the servant leader is. And he always mentions this, I am your ever well wisher. So Prabhupada tells, I am your ever well wisher. And yeah, and yeah, how he empowers, yeah, it's like we know how Prabhupada empowers the devotees. So and how yeah, one of the instance I was hearing, how Prabhupada in the train going to Delhi, and one of the person he met there in train was telling that in Delhi we should start something. So there is so much of scope there to propagate. So then you okay, tell me something more. Then he was asking more in details, and furthermore when Prabhupada was hearing so much from him, then he thought, Prabhupada thought in the mind, let's start in Delhi, and he called Gurudas Prabhu. He told, you get on the train now and go with him. Where he asked. Gurudas Prabhu doesn't know anything. So he told, you should go to Delhi and start preaching. So like that, Prabhupada, you know how he was empowering and make the Krishna conscious movement to grow, so disciples. So that was a thing we can understand. And we also seen how 3 couples he sent to London. So they went to London, and we could see how they in 4 months they made 4 devotees there. So they don't have any place to stay there properly, but Prabhupada empowered them, and he glorified them. So and he was very grateful to them also, Prabhupada. So that was how servant leadership. And he delights in making his members to do great things. So that was one point I was liking. And Prabhupada mentioned that how they could do it. This is one point I want to stress. The point is that the 3 couples who went to London, and they could able to do it because they have firm faith in the spiritual master, and they have firm faith in the holy name. So that's how Prabhupada also had, and he told my disciples also they have it. So what Prabhupada said, they did it. So and they just stand the holy names of Lord. So they have firm faith in the spiritual master and firm faith in the holy name. Is the 2 things which really help them. So and Prabhupada trained all his disciples. We can see they are like servant leader. So they all ready to serve. So they're ready to empower them. So they train them, they instruct them. So they're ready to hear from them and hear their concerns, and then help them, facilitate them to grow in their spiritual life. That's how they are leader. So we can see that in all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So yeah, that we can learn from that. And yeah, maybe just 1-2 minutes. I'll conclude. Yeah. Yeah, one more point we discussed in the purport. Prabhupada mentioned that the not idle kings. So idle kings we have discussed a lot now. Not idle kings like Kamsa, so Vena, so all those. So Prabhupada mentioned about current society also. The government should not impose so much of taxes on citizens. And after imposing, it's not that they are not helping the people anyhow, not going in spiritual life. So that's not correct. So in Vedas also doesn't recommend it. I mentioned it. So yeah, there is a discussion about Kamsa, how he ruled. We know how he was so much cruel. So I was remembering the pastime of Talvan, wherein all the is in Vrindavan, near close to Vrindavan, but all the things were taken to Kamsa for his pleasure. So not for citizens. So you know how Krishna killed Dhenukasura in the forest, and all the fruits were distributed to Vrindavan. So like that. So they are very the thoughts of the kings who are not idle are the sense gratification. So how they can enjoy and and also they are not about thinking about the welfare of citizens. So whatever they happen, I have to rule, I have to take my post, and I have to enjoy myself. So but idle kings are not like that. They're actually completely they are ruling citizens such a way, they are making them grow in the spiritual life. They're taking welfare of citizens in everywhere, in every aspects of their life. So they can live happily and peacefully. So that's how it is. And the King Gaya is like that. So the 9th verse today is talking about is 9th verse, how King Gaya is like that. The king is like that. So we can see just that verse. So the 9th verse is Gayam Pratiyati Karma Bera. So all the actions, all this execution of actions or ritualistic ceremonies are perfect. And is Yajva Bimani. So performing all the Vedic sacrifices, and is Abhimani. Abhimani means, Abhimani is like everyone likes him. He's widely respected all over the world. Abhimani. And Bahuvid, he's expert in the scriptures with Vedanta. He's good in Bahuvid in all aspects of scriptures. Dharma Gopta. He's expert in Gopta means protector, protects the Dharma, religious principles. Samagata Sri. Sri means opulence. Samagata Sri means is possessing all kinds of opulences. Samagata, everything. Sadasah Patihi. So he's like Sadasah Patihi in the Satam. Satam means in assembly of great people, he is the dean. He's like main person. Sadasah Patihi, topmost in all assembly of all great persons. Sat Sevako, what we discussed now is servant leader. So he is the servant leader. Anyo Bhagavat Kalamrute, like him who is there. Anyo, who is there. Bhagavat Kalamrute, and he is not a normal person. He is the expansion of the Supreme Personality Godhead, Krishna. So that's why he is Mahapurush. So that's how the qualities of Gaia is glorified. Now we have seen all the other qualities which we should not be, but these are the qualities which we should be. The King Gaia is having all this. So this verse glorifies how King Gaia is. And in the previous verse, Prabhupada also mentioned all the Puranas describe about the glories of the great kings, how we should rule the kingdom, and current society should learn from them. Examples I mentioned about, Prabhupada mentioned about Prithu Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, and also discussed about Dhruv Maharaj, how he ruled, Ambarish Maharaj, how he ruled, and emphasizing Ambarish Maharaj on the chanting and hearing glories of Lord, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have seen, I'm just giving a summary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, given the moment, and he has taken it further, and also Srila Prabhupada spread all over the world this Hare Krishna mantra. We are very fortunate to take this, and we should practice very sincerely, honestly, and in every way. To conclude this today's discussion, in every way, everyone is a leader in their own way, and like it's Bhagavad Gita, we have the verse Yadyad Acharti Shreshtas. So there we can see how very important that whatever Mahajanas they do, the common people they follow it. So every way, like a teacher or a parent or everyone, there is a leader in their own way. So whatever we do, our dependents they follow it. It's our responsibility to make sure that we follow the instructions of our spiritual master nicely and under the guidance, and whatever we follow, we should ensure that our who are there with dependence also, they should follow it nicely. So like that is very important. And also we have seen how Prabhupada has empowered all his disciples and to propagate the holy name all over the world. So we are very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for training all his disciples, and also with that mercy we are able to continue further, and we'll pray that we also get this empowerment and we'll be able to continue in the path of Srila Prabhupada, what he has shown us. So with that, I'd like to conclude here. So I'd like to stop here. Yes, Roji, I'd like to stop here if anything, any questions, any corrections. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. I think so wonderfully you brought out the qualities of a ruler and how taking the instances of kings in the past, especially King Gaya, and then the various qualities that he needs to have, thereby they're able to rule wisely and lead the people, make progress for the people in their advancement in towards spiritualism. That's one aspect that you brought out so nicely. And also, you had also quoted, I think, many relevant verses from the other cantos of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which highlighted the how a role model king is, and then how they are servant leaders, and how they were only want to protect their citizens. So those are some of the aspects that came out, and then we also compared it to how it is in the modern day, where those things are not at all so relevant. It's become very irrelevant, and then it's only for themselves that they all work. They themselves mean their own self or their own extended families, or that kind of a thing. So which is not how they were. So that also you brought out in the acronym of the king, where apart from being Krishna conscious as well as well versed in the scriptures, another quality is how they have to be equally equipoised with everybody. And then that's one of the aspects that's so nicely brought out too. Thank you so much for that. And so we can actually see how earlier day kings, how they were, and then the modern day, the politicians or the rulers, how they are, and then how there is so much of a difference between the two. And thereby then very nicely Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like through King Ambarish, and then the chanting of the holy name, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Srila Prabhupada. So nicely you tied everything. Thank you so much for the wonderful class, Prabhu. So devotees, if there are any comments or questions, kindly go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Thanks for the wonderful class. Prabhu, how can we explain to people that we should keep Krishna in the center of their lives, Prabhu? Can you tell in some simple words, Prabhu?
Yes, Mother, sure. So, I always remember this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, where Ambrish Maharaj section is there. Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayor. So there we can see in this verse how Ambrish Maharaj teaches all our activities. We can very simply, very easily, we can make it Krishna consciousness and keep Krishna in the center. So, like say our mind should always think about Krishna. So how can I please Krishna? So we can spend some time. How can I please Krishna? So pleasing Krishna in the sense offering whatever possible for us. So offering flower, fruit. So patram pushpam phalam toyam. So simple things. We can make people just offer one flower every day. So offer tulsi leaf every day. Offer water to Lord with love and devotion. So Krishna will accept it. Krishna says. And then offering flower, and then we can smell the flower also. So that after offering to Lord, then we take out the flower and we can smell that. So offering flowers. So that's like perfection of our nose. So like every sense of our body, it will become perfect by just doing these activities. I used to see the Lord. So here we can tell them to hear the glories of Lord, read Bhagavad Gita. So chant the names of Lord with the tongue, and then use the hands to serve the devotees, serve the temple of the Lord, legs to go to the temple. So like that, every limb of our body can be engaged in Lord's service. So, and this is a simple way, and even more practical, we can see children to train. If you purchase a new thing like a pen or a dress, you can keep before Krishna and pray, Krishna, this is the thing I purchased. So you can have the relationship with the Lord. So Krishna, I purchased it, I want to use it. Offering it to Lord and then take it. So in that way, it's very simple. Everything should connect with Krishna. So in that way, very simple. And and Tulsi worship, very simple. Keeping Tulsi in home, watering Tulsi, circumambulating Tulsi every day. So Tulsi is very dear to Krishna. So if worship Tulsi, then we are dear to Krishna also. Like that, and performing small things, like slowly. Like we know how Ambrish Maharaj performed Ekadasi, and he performed Ekadasi such a way that all the kingdom they performed Ekadasi, right? Very simple. So whatever he's doing, everyone is following, and like that, small things, little slowly. So fasting in the important festivals, so which will really help them to grow in spiritual life, and will get the taste and chant in the holy name of the Lord also. Like that, we can keep Krishna in center and serve the Lord slowly. So, and engage them in small services in temple, so they'll get the taste in services. So like that, Mataji. Devotees can add also.
Thanks, Prabhu. I meant for this very busy materialistic people. So along with their work, can they do something like that? They don't have time to do all this, Prabhu. So for them, I meant like that.
Yes, Mataji. So yeah, as I said, I think the context of people are very busy. I think first we can spend some, at least if they are talking to us for some time, that time we can utilize for telling the importance of very important points, that telling this life is not all in all, soul exists. Like basic philosophy, we should tell them. When they come to understanding of soul and super soul, then we can tell all these instructions. So example, I mentioned about people who are completely new, they don't know anything, don't have any time. But whenever we have interaction with them, we can tell about the importance of some. We know Bhagavad Gita is very prominent, and Bhagavad Gita talks about this. This life is not all in all. Soul exists. So we are soul. We are not this body. What are you doing whole day? Busy for what? For the body only. But body at the end of life, body goes to the fire. It goes and destroys, right? But we are giving time for body so much. And tell the story of that parrot in cage. So if you keep the parrot in a cage, and golden cage, and you come every day, just to you're busy in painting the golden cage every day, and it goes away. Paint it, go away every day, day after day. The parrot in the cage will die at one day. Like that, we are soul actually. We are not the cage. We're not the body. We are the soul. Then they'll get understanding. Okay, actually, I am soul. I'm supposed to feed the parrot, not the cage. So simply, I'm supposed to feed my soul. So if I feed my soul, then only I'll be happy. Although we are busy, so we are busy in doing the things for body. Like that basic philosophy of Prabhupada mentions that how understand fish and water example. So we can give the important philosophy of how we are soul, and then slowly bring up the, as I mentioned, the topics of, as I mentioned, Ambarish Maharaj, what I mentioned, those things can be added slowly. So first we have to begin the topic of understanding the soul and importance of soul, and then super soul, and then we can tell this topic. Is it fine, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I know how to approach them.
Yes,
Thank you very much. And one more question, Prabhu, this Chandkazi was Kamsa. So Kamsa was liberated. So now he has come down to play the pastime, no, Prabhu?
Yes, Mother. Yeah.
Take it as. Okay. Thank you
yes,
so much.
Yes.
Dandavat.
Hare Krishna. Any other?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prabhuji, where will can come to know who in Krishna Leela? In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhuji.
There is one literature. Prabhuji can help. Maybe there is one literature which tells every devotee who is there performing pastime, their equivalent Krishna Leela's pastime is there. Gita Ganodesha Deepika, something is there. I forgot, Mother. I'll find out. Maybe Prasanna Balaram Prabhu, Prasadeshwar Prabhu can add that literature which is there, which tells the relevant character. Gauda Ganodesha Deepika, I think. Gauda Ganodesha. One thing is where it tells about all the equivalent.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Gauda Ganodesha Deepika, I think, Mataji. I'll just that comes like that wording.
In Chaitanya's pastime, everyone is who is related to Krishna Leela. They came as to perform to Leela. They came in Chaitanya Charitamrita, no, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mother. Right. They performed the Leela. They came again. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Even Jagai Madai also, we know that they are previous life like Jai Vijay only. Again they came from the past times. Although 3 lives got over, again they came.
Again, same
same. Jai Vijay only. Again they want to do the past time. So Jai Vijaya they had come. They come as Jagai and Madai. So Jagai and Madai, we know the past time. How Nityananda Prabhu delivered them. So they are actually Jai and Vijaya, who are already completed 3 lives, but still again they came. So to do the past time with the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yes.
So yes, I think like you were mentioning, I'm also not very sure where it is mentioned, but we do hear from the acharyas, from others, about the personalities and then whom they represent.
Right.
So that gives us this thing. But I think if we can find out where it is mentioned, then that will be nice.
Sure, Prabhu. Yeah. I also check. Yes, sir.
And I'm not aware of it. Anybody is aware, they can add.
I'll find out.
Okay. All right. So, any other comments or any other questions anybody has? Okay, I think it's very nice and clear.
I'd like to thank for giving this opportunity to discuss about project. So Sankarshan Prabhu was given this opportunity to speak after a long time. So I could not come for Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Can pray that I'll also be part and can hear Bhagavatam every day, like all of devotees are sincerely doing. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you for your wonderful association, and devotees, thank you all for joining. So we will conclude today's session with the Vaishnav pranams. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anant koti Vaishnavrind ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Dev ki jai. Jai Gaur Sitanath Paramanande Hari Hari Bol. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, so thank you again, Prabhu, and thank you, devotees. So I'll conclude the session for